just met briefly in the locker room, so I think it's a really tough day with the way it ended. And I think we said we're going to meet as a team in a couple of days when we have some time to reflect. So, of course, incredibly disappointed to be out at this stage, but I thought we played really well today. And what I told the guys is that we've had some special players make some special plays for us that got us to this point. And I just think today, unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. So I thought we played really well. I thought we defended well. You know, one transition moment and one corner, so they scored their goals. But unfortunately, when we got into the final third, which we did a lot, we just weren't able to punch the ball in. So incredibly proud of the team, incredibly proud of the season. But at the same time, incredibly frustrated because this is the third Sweet 16, I think, in a row, and you just have to find a way to punch through in these very, very important games late in the year.
I know it's all probably pretty raw and fresh, and you haven't watched the tape or anything, but when you think about not being able to get past this hurdle, are there any common themes you think about or things that keep recurring that you guys need to snap out of?
Oh, like we've talked about all year in regards to creating chances and having some idea of where we want to go with the ball and who we want to go where, and I think that we did that again, and we've got some really good chances. We just weren't able to then deliver that final pass, or maybe take a touch and then shoot, or we don't have time to just take a first-time shot instead. So I think it's just one of those where it happens in games sometimes, and again, I would be even more disappointed if we didn't play well, or if we played timid, or if we didn't play up to our potential. But I thought that we played really well. It's just unfortunately we weren't able to put the ball away. I thought, you know, I can think of 3, 4, 5 really good chances. Even we have 2 chances after they scored with 3 minutes to go. So I think systematically, I'm really proud of how we played this year. I think it's the most we've ever played. And again, I think it was 53 goals before, so it's 54 goals total in the season. That's an incredible amount. So if you would have talked to me in preseason and said, hey, you're going to do the league double, you're going to make a Sweet 16, the first time you lose a game is going to be a Sweet 16. Then I said, well, that sounds like one heck of a season. So we are very proud of that, but it doesn't take away from that you are so frustrated at this point. I was texting to one of the parents of my daughter's soccer team, and like, this is the best job, but it's also the worst job. And right now, I'd take any job over this. I'd go back to banking because there's nothing that can deal with the pain that we're going through as a group right now. So.
You said about the injury, Martin. I don't know how much information you have. I guess what's going to be updated.
Yeah, so he's in the hospital right now, and we won't know anything, I think, until tomorrow morning. So it's not good. He'll be fine. But of course, even if he were advancing, then he wouldn't play more this year. But he'll have plenty of time to get back in. So it was a very brave tackle of Marty, and he played great, just like Clay did. So I think long term he'll be fine. But of course, currently he's in a lot of pain.
How difficult was it to adjust to the conditions tonight?
I mean, it really wasn't as bad. I think warm-ups, it was pretty windy, but once the rain came down, it was just a slick night. I really didn't think it was that bad. I think at first it was kind of dry, and we had to get used to like over-the-top ball skipping through and overplaying passes, but other than that, honestly, especially this time of year, it wasn't too bad.
So you took a moment that you hear your coach talking about accomplishing the league double, winning the tournament, getting a 1 seed. I know this isn't anything before you guys wanted it to, but what do you think about when you reflect on the accomplishments and what you're able to do with your teammates this season?
I mean, besides winning it all, you can't really ask for more. I mean, undefeated, hadn't lost up to this point. I think it's one of the best group of guys that I've been with, definitely, especially most talented on the ball. So, I mean, I love playing with those guys. I couldn't have asked for a better team. Honestly, besides that last bit of magic by them, I couldn't have been more proud of our season.
Anything else?
What message do you have for Big Blue Nation? I know that today you guys were talking about a packed stadium, and you guys have that. So what message do you have for them?
I mean, I loved having them there. And playing in front of them makes it 10 times better, especially when we're tired on the field. It just brings energy, and I thank everybody that comes out every single day, especially the past, since the Sun Belt tournament. The conditions have been terrible, especially if you're sitting in the stands, but I love playing in front of them, and I couldn't have asked for a better school to play at.
He's the the one on the field. So I just think it's such a nice and unique atmosphere that we created this season, and we really hope that they come back next year. You know, the challenge for us is to rebuild and figure out how we can do the same and even better next year, and that's going to be without guys like Clay. So that's going to be a big challenge for us as a staff. But again, the amount of people that have reached out, you know, the amount of people that we've seen walk in, or like even I was at UPS the other day, and he's like, "Hey, you're the head soccer coach, right?" So it's just like I feel like we've definitely put the program on the map, and there's lots of successful programs in sports here at University of Kentucky, but men's soccer is definitely one of them. So we're just really thankful for the Big Blue Nation, and we can't wait to host them in August, which sounds terrible to say at this point. But.
Cam, did you have another one?
Yeah, I was gonna say, you mentioned like a moment of magic there, 3 minutes left, they're down a man to score that goal.
Yeah.
Does that make it easier to take, more difficult to take when that happens, just when it kind of comes out like a bolt of lightning like that?
Kind of worse. I mean, we're pressing forward, doesn't mean you're dying chasing the game, and then we let up for 5 seconds and it goes in. So it's not exactly the ideal way to lose, but
Like I said, I think tactically is one of those where, you know, was there anything that we could have done to take that away? And again, you know, could we have stopped the shot? Could we have dealt with the shot? Could we have dealt with it before that? So I think for me, it's just one of those where that goal is going to just be replayed in my mind for the next couple of months. So it's tough to deal with, but again, as we talked about going into the game and scouting Pitt, they have some really special attacking players, but so do we. And just unfortunately, you know, for them today, their attacking players maybe stepped up a little more than ours. But at the same time, I think we have the national leader in assists. We have 2 guys over 10 goals. We have a bunch of guys that scored 5 or 6. So we've just been such a hard time to stop on offense. And again, going back to the 54 goals in the season and going undefeated until game, what are we, 2021? What are we, does anyone know?
21, I think.
21, this is the 21st game. So, no, it's just, right now, it just is not.
Congrats on a great season. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, guys.